Horror movies have been terrifying audiences for over a century. But where did it all begin? Today, we'll explore the origins of the horror genre by looking at 3 of the very first horror films ever made. Number 1. Le Manoir du Diable. Our journey begins with Le Manoir du Diable, The House of the Devil, created in 1896 by Georges Méliès. Often considered the first horror film, this 3-minute silent movie depicts a devil conjuring bats, skeletons, and spirits inside a medieval castle. Though not considered terrifying by today's standards, The House of the Devil introduced gothic imagery and supernatural themes that would define the genre. Méliès, a pioneer of special effects, used stop motion and double exposure to bring his visions to life. The film was less about scaring audiences and more about creating a spectacle of the fantastical, captivating early viewers with its playful approach to the macabre. Number 2. Frankenstein. In 1910, Edison Studios released Frankenstein, the first cinematic adaptation of Mary Shelley's iconic novel. This 16-minute silent film reimagines the classic tale of Victor Frankenstein, a scientist who creates life in his laboratory. Unlike later versions, this film's monster is not the stitched-together figure we're familiar with. Instead, he is formed in a bubbling cauldron-like contraption representing a blend of alchemy and science. The story explores themes of hubris, morality, and the consequences of playing God, core elements that would echo throughout horror cinema. Although relatively obscure for decades, Frankenstein set a precedent for adapting literary works into horror films and paved the way for more complex narratives in the genre. Number 3. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Our final stop is Das Kabinett des Dr. Caligari, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, a German expressionist masterpiece released in 1920. Directed by Robert Wiene, the silent film tells the story of a hypnotist, Dr. Caligari, who uses a somnambulist to commit crimes in a small town. What sets this film apart is its visual style. The sets are surreal and dreamlike, with jagged edges, tilted buildings, and exaggerated shadows. This nightmarish aesthetic reflects the character's psychological turmoil and has been hailed as the first true horror film for its unsettling atmosphere. The film also introduced the twist ending, a hallmark of the horror genre. Its narrative and visual elements influenced not only horror but also film noir and psychological thrillers. These films not only inspired generations of filmmakers, but also established horror as a genre capable of exploring fear, imagination, and the human psyche. Today, they remain celebrated as landmarks in cinema history. And how about you? Do you have a favorite horror movie? Let me know in the comments.